Greetings to everyone from Little Amigo Nest on the special occasion of Mother's Day. And this Mother's Day, we bring a very, very special podcast to you with Fenisha. And before I introduce Fenisha and move on to the podcast, I would just like to say I'm Nitika Seth. I'm the co-founder of Little Amigos Nest and also your host today. And Little Amigo Nest is a one stop shop for all your children's needs. We discover age appropriate products from India and abroad, and we deliver them at an exceptional value to young mommies and daddies. It also provides a unique range of products with quality and functionality, craftsmanship, and fantastic designs, which truly help the well being of little beings. These range from diapers to clothing and from toys to books. So we deal with a lot of things. And today, on the occasion of Mother's Day, we have Feni Shah with us. Feni is a practicing company secretary by profession. She has her office and she runs a business as well. And Feni is also popular on Instagram. So over to Feni. Could you just introduce yourselves briefly before we move on to, asking you things about Mother's Day?
Firstly, thank you for having me. So as you said, I'm a full-time working mom. I'm a practicing company secretary. Along with that, I'm a mom blogger. Also, a mother to a 5-year-old. That's what I would like to introduce myself for now. It takes full time.
Absolutely. What better way to start Mother's Day celebration with bringing in a mother? So, Fanny, can you tell us what inspired you to start your parenting journey online? I mean, was there a defining moment when you thought, I want other moms to hear this? Because a lot of moms who are listening to you are at times very hesitant, they're not confident that, what am I doing? Is it right? Is it not right? Should I really be putting myself up on, online? So many people are very, very camera shy and they may be doing fantastic things, but they don't want to come up and share. So, could you just tell us a little about
So I think that's quite a personal choice also. When I what thought it was, motherhood had such a beautiful moments. It was raw, it was beautiful. And moreover, the struggle what I was going through being because I started working because, it was my own setup. I could not take a break for a very long time because that was also something which I had built. So I started really after I think 7-8 months of COVID, and of course Corona hit. That was one of the good thing. But I started quite early working, and people to show myself there that I thought it would inspire a lot of mothers. How I'm overcoming these challenges, how what I'm doing, because I thought I wanted to tell world that the moms are not alone, because I used to travel and I see there are so many working moms out there struggling. So I think that really inspired me to share the beautiful and the real journey on online.
Yeah, I like the choice of the word real because you can't, once you are a vlogger and you are doing it, you have to be
Correct.
real. It can't be fake. Though a lot of people may say that, a lot of posts which people put are not real, but I understand that when you're doing something on a daily basis and putting different posts, it has to be real.
Correct.
Okay. So now, moving on to, how do you balance your office work? How do you create content, care for your child, your own personal time? Uh, how does your approach differ on? There are some days which are very, very work heavy, and there may be some days when you may be at home and you may be a stay-at-home mom and work from home. So how do you balance?
Yeah, as you said, the some days are really like a tightrope. Like, we really juggle to do things. But then I have learned one thing that, I've started embracing the imperfect balance, that I don't now look to balance too many things. But yes, my child knows that my work is my priority. It gives me happiness. Also, my clients know that I have a 5-year-old child. So that's how things automatically, when I have started giving importance, I my work is important, but I know my priorities also, that my son is my priority. But also the things get simpler, I think. When you want to really do things, you start balancing automatically. And now you have learned automatically in the process to learn to how to embrace the imbalances also.
You've put it very beautifully. Learn to embrace the imbalance. I think this is a task which, everybody has to master. You've said it very simply, but it's something which takes ages and a lot of time for people to master. But embracing the imbalance, I think this can be one beautiful takeaway from this podcast, this time. Because I think if we all as women start doing that, that would be really, really wonderful. Okay, now moving on, since you mentioned something so beautiful about embracing the imbalances, what small habits or routines you keep, doing every day, which help to, make sure that things run smoothly? Of course, you embrace the imbalance, but still, what do you do? There must be some habits.
Yeah, so I think to-do list is something which I cannot work without. Is something I have a list of things with me. I have a habit where I write the things what I want to do on the priority. Like if I have to attend a meeting or I have to go to attend his birthday parties, I have a to-do list which helps me to plan my day better. Also, I think a night before, like, most of the things, like if he has a school or some activity, I plan, make sure that it is well planned in advance. It also helps and takes away a lot of stress of the early morning, where, more, like you have to plan your breakfast or anything, you plan a day in advance. I think planning helps to make things smoother. So, yeah. That is one thing which I do. That is the habit which I do. I keep writing what I have to do and I plan a day before.
Absolutely. Planning really definitely makes things much better. So I agree with that completely. Now, there must be some days which have been very challenging, or there must have been some moments which you must have faced, earlier in the past, which were very challenging. Could you share any such moment which was very challenging, and how did you navigate through it so that it could be a, lesson for others as well?
So, as a working mom, I keep coming across such moments quite often where, I have a lot of challenges. Like, let's take example that there is a meeting tomorrow in the school and there is some urgent meeting in the office as well, which I cannot postpone. So, and this keeps happening, and somehow, it's like the test of the time. But now I've learned how do I overcome is asking help, which I think most of the moms find it very difficult to ask help. But now have learned that it is okay to ask for a help. So I have a really very supportive mother-in-law as well. So in my page you will can go across and see that we keep posting a lot of things and we share the relationship there also. So of course asking help from my husbands. We both have a full-time work, but then all the work, all the days are not important. So if his day work is not important that day, he takes it up or I do take it up. So it's not always 50-50. Sometimes I am 20, he is 80. Sometimes he is 20, I am 80. So, yeah.
Couldn't agree more, because it's really important that you have to balance at home as well, with your husband, with your mother-in-law. So that's really lovely that you have a beautiful relationship. Sure. Okay. Then another thing which I would like to touch upon today is about self-care. I mean, self-care often falls to the bottom of the list. We as working women will do everything for others, but when it comes to doing something for your own self, that in the to-do list, many a times for most women, that doesn't even feature. So, what strategies do you use for recharging? It could be a short one or it could be a long term. If you could please share.
So I think after becoming a mom, long term don't work. Spa day or something like that doesn't work. But yeah, the short term for me, it is waking up little early, having a cup of chai with the complete silence for 10 minutes is also something I'm doing it for my self care. Also, this year I've taken a lot on my health. I was like, I've reduced quite a weight. I've started, rather than weight, I've started eating clean. I've started lifting weights, which help actually whatever, however busy I am, I try going at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I try going, hitting the gyms, start eating clean food because I want to lift my son for longer. He's already 5 and I'm struggling to lift him now. So, yeah, taking care of something, we moms, we often love and give so much to others, we forget ourselves. So, on my list now, I've started cooking like basic things. When you used to cook, I used to cook for the family and I used to not cook what I used to like. But now I've started doing that. So I think this habits also, this is done over the 2 years. I think I've started doing all that stuff for myself because that makes me happier. And I've learned that until I am not happy, I cannot pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely, that's very, very true. That whatever you have inside is that what
Correct.
comes out. So it's very, very important for you to feel happy inside. And what about stereotypes? I know even on your social media, you keep talking about that. People saying something to you, and then how do you handle that? Many times you're asking your mother-in-law for advice. So how do you handle those stereotypes? I mean, so many times people will look at you and say, "Oh, you're a working woman. How do you manage? Or your child may not be really taken care of well just because you're a working woman." So how do you handle those stereotypes?
So I think being a working mother, the biggest stereotype what I've heard that, being working mom is a less parent, which is absolutely not true. Because it is not the quantity of the time what you spend with your child, but the quality which matters. Also, how do I overcome? I just smile and move forward because you cannot, especially when I'm sharing my journey online, you would see there are certain videos where people have commented like anything on it, like, my work is the priority, my child is not a priority, all that stuff. So I just smile, and because I do not have to give justification to everyone, the love what my child shares for me shows that I'm doing just right, and I have to keep moving forward.
True, very true. Especially trolling on, social media. That's very, very common. People hiding behind, just a name and just commenting whatever they feel like. That's very, very true. But as a mother, tell me, do you ever experience guilt? Because, as women, we often do that. We feel guilty for not spending enough time with the child or not, whatever, different areas. It could be your health, which you could be guilty about, or spending time with the family, you could be guilty about, or not spending enough time with your parents. So, do you ever experience any form of guilt? And if yes, then how do you overcome that?
Yes, I think motherhood and guilt walk alongside. I do experience whatever I share on Instagram or whatever I tell. I think motherhood and guilt walks along together. I think it's never going to leave you. So yeah, I do have a lot of guilt at time. I'll share you one simple example. Recently, Pavit came back home and he told Mama, "You never come to pick and drop to the school. Why am I a van going child? All my friends mama come to the school to pick and drop." So that really hit me. I was like, what am I doing, but then I sat with him. I told him what mama does and why she's not able to come to the school. She goes to the work, she's making something very beautiful for us, and this is something which I have built. And I talk to him a lot like an elder, and he understands also. So we really underestimate the children, but they do understand things when you talk to them. Also, I told him, when you come back from the van, you meet so many of your friends, and he told me 5 friends whose mother comes. I know other 5 whose mother don't go. So we just happen to talk, and that's how, I think talking helps. So yeah, mom guilt is always there, but now we have learned to just walk along it.
Yeah, I know I'm a working mom too, so I understand what you're saying. Okay. So, you often share simple educational activities. So, how do you come up with these creative ideas? And, if you could share something which has been, one of the favorite activities, or favorite foods which you have made.
So, activities, what I share is usually I take the clue from my child. What is he currently interested in? It's very simple. If he's learning some, let's take example. He was learning alphabets, like, phonic sounds and all. So we just do play around. Like, let's say animal from name place animal thing from A, B, C, D. Or if he's learning a sight word, we make the small cards and hide around, and I tell him go and find alphabet end and come. So I think it's more about I take the clues from him and keep adding a bit of learning. Also, he's very curious. That helps. He keeps asking questions, and I make sure even if I don't know, I Google it and I answer to all his questions. I never tell him no. I tell him I'll find it if I don't know. So he's that also helps, to just take clues from them, and whatever they are interested, he's too much interested, as I told you, in animals. He loves animals. So even his screen time, we try to divert towards that all things.
Yeah, so making it as real as possible. So whatever you
Correct.
are, so that it is more relatable to the
You
audience.
really don't need a big things to do with them. They just need your time, and whatever they really enjoy, you just need to sit and play with them. That's it.
So the small things matter, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we all make parenting mistakes, right? Can you share something which you mistake which you made, but then you learned a very valuable lesson, and then how did you turn it into, a
Okay.
positive thing?
One of the biggest parenting mistake, which I still regret, on my early days, I used to Google a lot and worry a lot about the milestones. This would be really helpful for all the young mothers who are new mothers. That I used to literally Google, what is this behavior normal? What is happening? And it used to put so much pressure and meltdown on me, my child. So I think with time, I learned that every child has their own rhythm. Until there are no serious concern, that parents should not panic. And always there is a pediatricians, doctors help rather than Google, using a Google for everything or taking a random advice. We should go to someone who is really expert in that field. That is something which I really think I've made a biggest parenting mistake and have spoiled my early time, where a lot of mothers go in the postpartum depression because of that. They keep Googling things, they keep worrying, they keep crying, but they don't take a help from expert. So I think that is one mistake. Also, a lot of times I think my child has to, since I am so active on Instagram, I want to be perfect. I want to keep him always busy with the classes, activities, play. But now I've learned that it's okay. If he's getting bored, he's learning something. And yeah, slow days, I think, is one thing which I have learned now, that the days where are slow, where we're not doing anything absolutely, is okay.
Agree completely that it's important for sometimes to let children be as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Lastly, one message which you would like to give to other working moms. Like there have been so many messages through your podcast, but one special message which you would like to give to a working mom because she's juggling a career, she has a young baby, a home, relationships, in-laws, husband. So how to manage?
I think one message if I have to give all the moms out there on this Mother's Day is that be kind to yourself. Like as we spoke earlier, we do so much for everyone around. We do for our families, we do so much we give to our office, our child, but we often forget to do things for ourselves. So I think one message which I want to give to all the parents out there, all the mothers out there, that please take some time for yourself. Do things which you really love. If working makes you happy, please work. Things will fall automatically, everything falls in place. If going to class makes you happy, please take up that course or a hobby. If something really, do something which makes you happy, and you will see that happiness, that radiant of joy, you are spreading it everywhere. Because a child doesn't need a perfect mom, but it needs a happy mom.
Yeah, yeah, very true. I've really enjoyed this. I've just few things which keep coming back to my mind, beginning with embracing the imbalance, the to do list, asking for help. I've just made a note of all of these short-term things, recharging yourselves, be it a cup of chai for 10 minutes instead of a long-term things. Just then eating clean and healthy, going to the gym, spending a little time, feeling happy from within, doing things to recharge yourselves, then quality time because it matters. These are some of the takeaways for anyone who's going to be listening to the. And then another very, very important thing which you touched upon is talking with the child again at heart. Because I think that's very, very important. When you sit children down and you look at their eye level and you talk to them, that also helps to sort things out. Then being real, choosing activities which the children really enjoy doing, and put regret and guilt aside and take help, ask for help, go to a specialist if needed, and last but not the least, be kind to yourself. So I think I think it's really, really important. So many takeaways. So we should
Yeah.
be really enjoying and listening to all these and implementing these this Mother's Day.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, Fanny. It was really a pleasure having you over. And we really would look forward to more podcasts with you, and we will connect with you also for that. And
Sure.
we also want others, moms, to also enjoy and have a great time. Yeah. So thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Nikita, for having me. Thank you.